What is the best part about being a loner?
This is a good one.
I'm okay by myself in my own space, doing my own thing by myself.
The best part is that, as we have experienced with this pandemic lockdown thing, every introvert that I know, that we're fine. You know, you need us to stay home for 5 weeks and not talk to anyone. Great, I love it. Actually, perfect. I think being introverted makes us a lot more resilient and a lot more able to deal with problems and situations by ourselves. We don't feel the need to immediately run to someone else for comfort or whatever. I think that it makes us very independent people, and I think that's quite rare actually in today's society.
What's the best thing about being a loner? Well, first, I want to start this answer by saying there's a definite difference between being alone and being lonely. And I think it definitely serves people to know the difference. But 3 general things that I love in terms of being a loner. I think, and of course, this is my opinion, I think there's peace in it. I think there's a level of focus in it. And I think there's self-love in it. With the world that we live in, we're constantly surrounded by distraction. We're constantly surrounded by noise. And I believe it serves people to be able to find solace in their alone time, to be able to look within, to look outward and process. It's kind of just like a reset button and just time to take a breather. And so there's peace in that for me. There's the ability to focus in being alone and in self-love. I don't think that you can learn how to love yourself if you don't spend time with yourself. So there's peace in being alone, there's focus in being alone, and there is self-love in knowing how to be alone.
I think the best part is really sort of being able to sort of find a zen within all the noise that's going around me. I'm very independent. It gives me a lot of headspace because I know myself quite well. I'm very reflective and I'm always thinking about just stuff. And I'm very sort of in my head, and I think it's the reason why I'm quite imaginative as well, because I'm always in zoned in and very calm and sort of reflective.
The best part about being a loner or introvert is definitely the independence. I can function on my own. I'm okay on my own, and I don't need anybody. And I feel like that's extremely empowering as a person. I can trust people, and I do have people in my life, but at the end of the day, I know that I'm enough, and that's amazing.
For me, the best part about being a loner is that I have become someone who is very decisive, simply because I stay so much with my thoughts and my feelings, which is not always a good thing because you can just get into a horrible state. I often did get into states where I was just overthinking, and I would think myself to sadness. I would throw myself pity parties, and it wasn't fun. But also in those times, I really learned to fully depend on myself in terms of making decisions. I do believe I need to include people in things that I do in my life, or whatever commitments I want to commit to, or whatever decisions I take. But because I am someone who's so in my head most of the time, I've learned to really trust my opinion, and not in an arrogant way, but I really think about a lot of things deeply and intensely. So when I come to a conclusion, trust and believe it has been decided.
Actually, so many good things. You can have your own schedule, you can do everything you want without hesitating what others might think about you. It's so fantastic.
I would say it's just never being bored. I always always have something to do, and I cannot remember one period in my life where I've ever said I'm bored and genuinely meant it, because there's just always something to do for me.
I think the more you are introverted, the more you get to know who you are as a person. And yes, you go through overthinking, anxiety, all the rest of about what other people think and so forth. And but I really think that you do get to know yourself a lot better because you spend a lot of time on your own and you're not afraid to spend time on your own with your own thoughts. I'm definitely in a better place with myself now than I've ever been, and I get to express my creativity when I get on stage. In a bikini, I am a different person up there. I'm a completely different character.
For me, the best part about being a loner is the fact that I can enjoy time by myself. I can love being by myself. So I don't need to be around a group of people. I don't need to be in a crowded space. I don't need to have tons of people around me to feel welcome, to feel loved, to feel accepted. I'm okay by myself in my own space, doing my own thing by myself.
Oh, so good, because you don't really need to compromise anything. If you're traveling alone, I love traveling alone and shopping alone. You don't really need to wait for someone. Basically, you can just do whatever you want. But I mean, the cost to that is that you don't really have someone to share your happy experiences. But you know, 1 or 2 friends are enough to share your experience. You don't really need a lot of them.
What's the best part about being alone is that you don't really have to go through people betraying you. Like, when someone loves you as an introvert, someone really loves you, because being an introvert means that you're going to be awkward, obviously. You're going to be this dude or girl that doesn't want to talk to people. And like, people that love you for that, those are the people that really love you. Like, the people that understand that you don't want to talk today, or you are not comfortable with a situation, those are people that really love you. So you don't really go through betrayal and lies. Like, people really love you for yourself.